everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It is me, Raznak, and this is another episode of Talking Tractors. As you can tell by the picture and by what's on screen, we're going to be talking about Holmer. And not just the machines. This isn't a mod review, this isn't a pack review. I'm going to be using some of the different stuff and talking about the machines and kind of some real world stuff about the machines, because I think a lot of that's lost in farm sim, at least for somebody like me who's not a farmer. I know there are people out there that use this stuff every day, and they're going to listen to me and go, well, they might listen to me. I mean, it's not like tons of people watch this, but they're going to be like, okay, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But all this is based upon internet research, watching YouTube videos, and most all this is from the Holmer website. And they have a great website, and they have like a history timeline. It's really cool. It's got pictures of throughout the years, kind of how it started, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. What we're going to do is we'll just talk about Holmer, the company, first. I'm trying not to say Homer, like Homer Simpson. I'm saying Holmer. Holmer. I'm trying to pronunciate that right. And I probably won't through the whole thing. But Holmer is now part of what's called Excel Industries, EXEL. Other companies, it's one of those agricultural conglomerates. Same with Agco, Case New Holland, John Deere, even though it's John Deere brand, but they have a bunch of... this guy's not turning. Here, let's help him. They have a bunch of different... different brands that fall under those categories, and Holmer joined Excel back in hang on, let me find my notes here. They joined Excel back in let's see, I think it was 2013, and Excel is a French company. Holmer is headquarters in Germany, but they also have North American divisions, and that's in Ruth, Michigan. The North America division's Ruth, Michigan. And if you've ever been to Michigan, they do a lot of sugar beets up there. As a kid, I grew up in Michigan, and we would go by the Pioneer Sugar Factory, and they'd have mountains, and I mean mountains of sugar beets that they would do for processing. So I think this guy's almost full. We'll have to empty him here in a second. But the company itself was founded in 1969 by Alphonse Holmer, and he actually took over his dad's blacksmith shop in 1969 and started doing some agricultural machinery work. It wasn't until 1974 that he designed and built the first self-propelled sugar beet harvester. In 1974, built the first one. I tell you what, we're going to unload this real quick. Load this. It's kind of like a work and talk. And I'll talk about the field piles here in a minute, because I learned while I was doing some research why they put these in piles on the side of the field. I didn't know. It's about storage and ground temperature and air temperature and all different kinds of stuff. Also what the other machinery does. Alright, so back to Holmer. Alphonse Holmer. Like I said, 1969 took over his father's blacksmith shop. First self-propelled sugar beet harvester was built in 1974. They didn't begin serial production of a self-propelled sugar harvester until 1992. So until then, it was kind of, I think it was built by order. People would seek him out, and he would build them for him. Him and whoever worked for him. Until 1992. So there's a long time that they were just a small company, and just kind of built them on an individual basis. So serial production 1992 as we move along our timeline. So a prototype of a beet cleaner loader, which is the Terrafellis over there. That is a beet cleaner loader. I always thought it was just a loader, but that actually cleans the sugar beets. And we'll get more into that here in a minute. The prototype was developed in 1993. Then the first Terra variant, which is those vehicles over there that hold the tanks, the slurry spreaders, the manure spreaders. That's the Terra variant. It was produced in 1995. The Terra DOS, which is, I think that's what we're in right now, is it? I think, yeah, I can't remember. It was started production in 1996, and then the Terra Fellis, which is the big beet cleaner loader. It actually, the prototype doesn't come alive until 2007, and production in 2010. Um, Again, a small company. They only have 400 employees worldwide, and like I said, they have divisions in North America, the Czech Republic, Ukraine, Poland, Turkey, and China. And they only have 400 employees. That's it. So it's not a very large company. They built and shipped their 3,000th sugarcane harvester in 2012. So there's only been 3,000 sugarcane harvesters made. That's of the Terra DOS of this one right here since 1996. So 3,000 of them. So that, I mean, they don't make many a year with those numbers. Like I said, they joined with XL Industries, which is a French company. Other companies within XL, Apache sprayers. If anyone knows what Apache sprayers are, they're self-propelled sprayers. Welker Farms uses one. Hardy, the brand Hardy, the Hardy sprayer, and the pull behind and the self-propelled. That is a division of XL Industries now. And there's a bunch of other lesser-known brands, a bunch of people that make parts and products for Holmer, but there's also like hose companies, like garden hose companies. They have a bunch of different stuff, and you can look at their website and see all the stuff that they're involved with. So yeah, that's kind of Holmer in general. So let's talk about the Terra DOS. The Terra DOS is the sugar beet harvester, the self-propelled sugar beet harvester. Holmer actually has a few different models of Terra DOS, different sizes. And they have a different brand of self-propelled harvester that's not in the game. We'll talk about that here in a second. So this, depending upon configurations, the Terra DOS, you can get either anywhere from 28 to 40 metric ton tank, depending upon the size. The header on this, you can get anywhere from a 6-row to a 12-row, depending upon what your needs are and what you want. He's having trouble steering that thing. Come on, worker, get to work. I'm paying him. Some neat information. You can unload this thing in real life in 40 to 50 seconds. Is all it takes to unload this. Pretty fast. As for its power plant, it has a 626 horsepower Mercedes-Benz engine. And as for price, we'll jump in the game real quick and look, because I couldn't find any listed prices, and I'm pretty sure this is dead on. $495,000. I bet you that's really, really close to today's price. Maybe a little bit more as every year inflation kicks in. Let's look at the header real quick. 104,000. So you're looking at $600,000 for just this machine. Now, it's not just a harvester. It's actually the first step in a process that Holmer has. So this is, of course, there's a topper on the front there, and that cuts the leaves, cleans everything off. And then underneath that is the digger or the pickup, and you can see it picks up the sugar beets. And this under here is the first stage of cleaning. It actually goes around and around all these little belts and runs and all that stuff to get the dirt and the extra root and all that stuff to fall off of the sugar beet. So it actually has a cleaning process that starts right here, and it proceeds on. So other harvesters that Holmer makes, they actually have another brand called the Trax brand, or TRAXX, and they have either what's called a light Trax, which is a 6-row, and it's a smaller version. If you go to the website, you can see it. It's a smaller version. Instead of the 6-wheel drive, they actually have, I think it's like one rear wheel and a couple, maybe 2 up front. It's kind of one of those tricycle type looking things, and it does 6 rows. Then they have a 6-Trax, which is a little bit bigger, wider chassis, longer, and it does 6 rows. And then they have a Hex Trax, which is does a 12 row, and I really don't. I think the technology is different. I think this one is more advanced. What you see here, it's more of automated, where the hex tracks, the 6 tracks, and the light tracks are a little more economical, and for your smaller operations. So. Some shared common features. So every one of these vehicles, they kind of, from my reading, they're the same technology is for all of them. They all come with a central lubrication system, which is actually computer controlled. So you actually fill a lubrication tank, and then it automatically lubricates the vehicle on all of its points. So you're not. We'll kill the helper here real quick. Put the pipe out. So you're not having to find lubrication points and lube it up. It actually does it from within the cab, which I thought was really cool. Every one of these, every Holmer vehicle has a what's called a hillside stabilization and auto leveling feature. And a lot of this is in German, so I translate. So what I can tell is the actual cab auto levels. It maintains level. So when you're sitting on a hill, it's not tilted. When you're going down a hill, it doesn't tilt forward. The cab actually keeps itself level, which I thought was really cool. Thought that was pretty neat. It has independent drives for all the axles, and the reason why is because every one of these vehicles have crab steering, and I'm sure you guys know what crab steering is. I'm not going to show you, but I will show you. Let's jump in. Not that. This one. So, so every one of these vehicles come with front row steering, or what they call road steering, and that's where the front tires turn. And then they come with crab steering, or all-wheel steering, where you can see all wheels turn. And then, see how the crab, how it has like drives at an angle? And for you that know about farming, I don't know tons about farming. This reduces ground impaction. And you can change directions and all that good stuff. So, all right. Moving on. We'll talk about this guy, the Terra variant. This is the Terra variant. There's 2 models right now. There used to just be one. They used to have a Terra variant 600, and now they have a 435 and a 585. And that just has to do with load bearing and horsepower. 435 is a little bit smaller. 585 is bigger. I think the 435 is a 430 something horsepower Mercedes-Benz engine, and then the 585 is a 598 horsepower Mercedes-Benz engine. Both of them come with a power shift transmission, 18-speed transmission. It's 18 speed forward, 6 in reverse. And they both have what's called the quick swap system, which is what they call a superstructure, can easily be removed from the implement. So this is a beat bin, and then over here on the other side of the hill, you can see a couple other 585s. We have one with a manure spreader on it, and then we have one with slurry tank and cultivator, and then we have, this is the 435, which is a little bit smaller, and in the game it comes with a pre-installed slurry tank, but in real life you can switch out implements just like the 585. I don't know why the 435 you can't, but here is the tank with the sprayer. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, Terra variant. Yeah, the first produced in 1995. It's the Terra variant. Moving along here, folks. All right, let's dump these, and then we'll talk about the beet pile. So, apparently, in my research, sugar beets are happy in certain air and ground temperatures. I didn't know that. When the ground temperature gets below a certain point or above a certain point, they don't harvest. They actually stop. They'll stop harvesting. Because I guess the temperature at which you take them out of the ground, it determines how fast they rot. Which I thought was kind of interesting. I didn't know all that. We'll offload this real quick. So you can look. they're all kind of built similar, same chassis. Oh, I guess ground's out of room. Keep going, and we'll talk about the Terrafellis next. Let's unload this real quick. Get the Holmer Exact out of the way. I'm not going to run the manure spreaders and the slurry and all that stuff. I mean, you guys understand how it works. I just wanted to show the different options that are really available. Those are real things. They're on the brochure. Find them. And again, as for prices, I really don't know, as I couldn't find any posted prices. Everything you have to contact a dealer, which we all know why, because they're $500,000 purchases. Okay, so the Terrafellis. Again, this was prototype 2007, wasn't produced until 2010, so this is a fairly new item. This is what they call a cleaner loader. It has a 350 horsepower man engine. It has a width of 35 feet or 10 meters, or 33 feet 10 meters. This boom can rotate 332 degrees around the axis of the vehicle, and it can move 560 tons per hour of sugar beets. 560 tons per hour. It's pretty wild. And we'll talk about world records, because Holmer actually holds a world record for sugar beets. Let's jump in our man truck here. I tried to stay themed, red theme, and we'll park this right here. So like I was saying, these beet piles, as for storage, they'll dump them on the ground, and then using the Holmer system, everybody does stuff a little different. I know that. I'm not saying this is the way everybody does sugar beets, but using all the pieces and parts of Holmer, there's the harvester pre-cleaner, because it actually pre-cleans the sugar beets, and then they get dropped field side. Now, some people actually have processing plants close to their farm, so that they don't have to swing this boom. They don't have to use a Terrafellis. But some folks just store right here on the side of the field. They just leave them there. They leave their beet piles until the processing plant can take them. So, swing this boom out. Alright. And we'll fire this bad boy up. Gotta start the engine first. Then turn the pickup gatherer thing on. Start scooping our sugar beets. And we'll have to move the truck back a little. Alright, I'm as prepared as I can be, people. No judging. No judging. That's why this is Talking Tractors. It's just fun times. If I can get this thing to work. I have to turn my HUD on for a minute. Ruin the ambiance. This will work. Let's see. Yep, so you got to turn on the overloader. Alright. Take that off again. So what this does, from what I've learned watching Holmer's videos, this actually, it picks it up. I mean, it serves that purpose. But every one of these steps cleans the sugar beet even more. These belt, or these, see how they're varying speed? They tumble the sugar beet, and as it tumbles, it kind of makes its way to the back and over, but you can see these gaps. Those are actually there for a reason. It's for dirt and debris to fall through. And then as it goes up through the harvester, or not through the but through the pickup cleaner, every one of these belts that goes down helps clean the sugar beet more and more. And there were a couple of these models I actually saw liquid tanks on the outside of a Terrafellis. It had big liquid tanks on it in some pictures. And from what I found, those actually are washers. They spray the beet too, which I thought was pretty cool. All field side. And then as it goes through, it cleans, and I just start overloading, and it'll keep picking up. And that's pretty much what the Terrafellis is. I always thought it was just like, oh, it's just a loader. I mean, why don't you just dump directly into the truck? And in Farm Sim, you can, but this actually serves a purpose. I love how you sit sideways. The thing, I thought that was pretty cool. But just kind of keep scooping up. Like I said, 560 tons per hour is what this thing can move. Sugar beets. But yeah, this is a self-propelled loader cleaner. Holmer self-propelled Terrafellis 3. I thought that was pretty cool. And that was already in game, so that wasn't part of the pack. But I didn't know. I learned today that it actually serves a purpose in the processing of sugar beets. So, but again, this shares the same features as the other ones: the central lubrication system, hillside stabilization, auto level, independent axle drives. Each wheel has an independent drive. Ventilated. Oh, they also have ventilated and heated seats by Grammer. Every Holmer vehicle has Grammer seats. It's a brand of seats. Only reason why I know that is I used to work in boat upholstery. I knew about Grammer. But yeah, this thing will run as long as you're close to it. I think if you get far enough away, it stops working. Yeah, it's that's Holmer. That's everything I could find out for today's episode of Talking Tractors. There isn't tons of information. A lot of it's in other languages. They have a bunch of English brochures, and that's where I got most of this. And I'll put a link to the website so you guys can check that out. And there's a bunch of really cool videos that shows, like, after this, as this thing moves, there's these giant piles of dirt behind it that fall off of all the sugar beets. Yep, I don't think we're... No. Yep. Oh, wrong one! I quit overloading. That's why I got too far away, probably. I'm sorry, I'm playing. Less playing, more talk, Raz. Alright, a couple other things. This isn't their only loader cleaner. They actually have what's called the RRL 200 Eco, which is a pull behind loader cleaner, which is pretty much, it has everything from here back. It doesn't have the cab and all that stuff, and it's, you pull it behind a tractor, and I think it runs I think it runs off the PTO power tractor. And this bad boy here in real life, it actually is it swings out and scoops, pulls stuff in, which I thought was pretty cool. A lot of neat stuff. Yeah, that's Holmer. We have the Holmer Terra variant, all of its fancy features. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had fun making it, and more importantly, I had fun researching it. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you have something to say, jump in, comment, and let me know what you think. And let me know if you knew about the sugar beet process. I don't know much about it, so if you do, please let me know. I'd love to hear more about it. I'll put a link to the company's website, and you can go to their page, and like I said, they have a lot of really good videos, a lot more information. If the stuff like this interests you, I'm kind of a geek, so useless information I enjoy, and it has nothing to do with my life. I'll never ever harvest sugar beets, ever. I don't see myself ever doing it, but it is fun to learn, and it's fun to understand more and more about why equipment is in the game, and to what purpose it serves, because in its attempt it is trying to simulate real life, and this is a real way that a lot of these sugar beet harvesters do it. Oh, I almost forgot. World record. The world record. This bad boy here, the Holmer Terra DOS harvester, holds the world record for sugar beets. It harvested in 24 hours 85.6 hectares of sugar beets, which is roughly 211.5 acres in 24 hours. That was pretty amazing. For those who play Farm Sim and have done large sugar beet fields, after like 20 acres, I will pull my hair out and never want to do sugar beets again. But I couldn't imagine doing 211 acres in 24 hours. Man, that was pretty cool. Alright, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, everyone stay safe and take care. See you later. Bye.